Hello, Kirsty Lane here, day number 10 of Bulletproof Diet and Intermittent Fasting. I had a bad stomach last night. You see, I'm not strictly following the Bulletproof Diet. Dave Asprey says you can eat some of the suspect foods, but just keep an eye on how they make you feel. And because some food is kryptonite for some people and very good for other people. And the idea is that you isolate these suspect foods to see what's giving you trouble. And the symptoms of food intolerance are so amazingly varied that you would never think that it would be linked. Like one of the main ones, he says, is that if you're hungry quite soon after you've eaten it, it's a sign of an intolerance, which seems strange. I was hungry last night before I went to sleep, and I'm not normally hungry. Another sign is having gas or farts or bloating or anything like that, but they can be so varied. They could be like skin irritation or having a runny nose or just feeling tired and lethargic. There's so many things that basically that are linked to having a food allergy. It's very difficult to know what it is. So I'm very interested to know what sets off my bad stomach, and I think it might be onions. Onions are on the suspect list, but my boyfriend loves onions and he would absolutely cry if I couldn't eat onions. I was doing keto for 4 months previously, and God, onions, you're not supposed to eat too many of them because they can basically, they can fry down to sugar. If you caramelize them, they get sugary, and if you eat too many, then it's no good for keto, but also I think I might be a little bit intolerant to onions. So I'm going to keep an eye on that and just see. You have to be a food detective in this game. You really have to work out what works for you and what doesn't, because onions might be bad for me, but they might be fantastic for other people, and they help prevent gout, and there's so many amazing things that onions are good for. Very medicinal vegetable, but if they upset your stomach, then they're totally not good for you and to be avoided. Dave Asprey, I was listening to him yesterday, he was saying that if you have stomach trouble, anything like gas or bloating or anything like that, then it's a sign of gut inflammation, and having gut inflammation is a very bad sign, because gut inflammation can actually trigger disease. Okay, we know now that inflammation in the gut can trigger disease. So if you have bad gas or you have bloating or a bad stomach, anything like that, it's in your interest to figure out what is ticking you off, and it could be something that you would never ever expect. Okay, I've taken out this Bulletproof Diet. I've taken out a lot of the suspect foods for upset stomach, and that is lentils and peas and beans and peanuts. They all fall under the lentil family, but also anti-nutrient, they call it. Plants, some plants, they emit a toxin to stop animals like us from eating them. They are lectins. So I've taken out very lectin-laden foods. I've been peeling my potatoes, for example, and I've been avoiding onions and bell peppers. And there are some heavy lectin foods that I have been avoiding. It's amazing, we've just been brought up to know that all fruit and vegetables are good for you, and that's it. But the truth is that some people are very sensitive to lectins, and they cause them a lot of inflammation. Like people who have arthritis, for example, they are often put on this anti-lectin diet popularized by Dr. Grundy, and they find it really helps them to their joints, etc., and to decrease inflammation. Some people can eat lectins and it doesn't matter, but some people, they're very susceptible to it. And it's also in nightshade vegetables. They call nightshade, so it's like things like eggplant, okay, and peppers and tomatoes and spices, things like that. So all I'm saying is that you might have been looking at my Bulletproof Diet food diary and say, well, that's not in it and that's not in it. But I know what's in the diet green list and what's in the suspect list, and I am just keeping a close eye on it to see if my body reacts badly or well to it. And you should be doing the same. If after eating you feel tired, you feel lethargic, if you are hungry almost immediately after eating, and these are signs of food intolerance. It's signs that what you've eaten has not gone very well. So I was hungry last night, and I woke up this morning, I was hungry. So I just did a 13-hour fast today. Didn't push it today because, if you wake up hungry, then it's a sign that you did dinner wrong, okay? So the whole goal of fasting is to learn not to be hungry, okay? You can be hungry. If you're hungry, you might want to sit with your hunger and appreciate being hungry and be grateful for being hungry on like a longer spiritual fast. But just day to day, a working fast, you shouldn't be hungry, basically. That's why we drink the Bulletproof coffee, to stop you from being hungry. The goal is not to be hungry. And if you are hungry, then maybe you didn't get the nutrients and minerals in your body in the day before, basically. So in creating your perfect diet, which is different to my perfect diet, and in maybe letting go of the preconceptions that you hold about food and just accepting the fact that maybe all vegetables and fruits are not good for you, okay? They might be good for other people, but they're not maybe good for you. And just basically use the Bulletproof Diet as a framework and just know which foods he's put on the suspect list, so that when you eat them, if you react a bit badly, if you're hungry or if you're tired or you have an upset stomach, anything like that, well, there are so many crazy symptoms of a food allergy. You would, like I said, you would never even associate them with that. But all I'm saying is that keep an eye on yourself, and the goal is that we develop a diet that is perfectly tailored to us, and we are all individually different. Our ancestors are different. All our ancestors ate different things. Like if you were born in, Sweden, that has a very, very long history of drinking milk, then you're probably not very lactose intolerant. If you grew up in China, where they've only started recently drinking milk, you're probably lactose intolerant. So our ancestry plays a massive, massive role in it. A lot of people are sensitive to milk and dairy and don't realise it. But just keep an open mind. Have another look at the Bulletproof list. It's okay if you eat the food on the suspect list. Try to avoid the kryptonite list, but just on the suspect list. But just understand, just after you eat it, just check how it makes you feel. He says, for example, you can eat white potatoes if they agree with you. Okay, so they're suspect, but if they agree with you, then you can eat them. All right, so you have to basically take ownership and responsibility over your own body and your own diet, and just think, if you feel lethargic or tired, or if you have an upset stomach, just trace it back and think what you ate. And if you do that every time, then you're going to isolate something that you think it could be. Gratitude. What are we grateful for today? I am very grateful that I have the opportunity to buy organic vegetables at the supermarket. I've noticed recently that prices have come down a bit on organic veg, and that's great, because the more people who buy organic vegetables, the cheaper they become. So that's, to me, that means that more and more people are buying organic vegetables. And I just wanted to let you know that organic vegetables, they do have more vitamins and minerals in them. It's not just the pesticides that can transfer over and are bad for you, but they also have the added advantage of being even better for you. Same with organic meat and organic eggs. They have far more nutrients in them than their processed in their farmed counterparts. All right. What are you grateful for? Like and subscribe.